Hello everybody, how are you doing? I am okay. How do you do? I like how that sounds. How do you do? This way the sound comes off the mouth, it sounds so nice. But anyways, Tales of Grace. Oh, I forgot the F. So, Tales of Grace F is the latest Tales of game to be released well in English because they release a million of these things in Japan. So, what is the tale of Tales of Grace F about? Straight from the back of the box of the game, it says, bonds of friendship are eternal. Now that is some fairy tale bullshit at its finest. So Tales of Grace tells the story of Asbel and his merry group of friends who go on many adventures. You watch them start out as kids and eventually they grow up and go through some things that pushes the very limits of their friendship, and oh yeah, they all have to save the world in between all that. Fantastic. So what do I think of the story? What is the best way to describe it? Actually, I think it's easy to describe what it is not. And the keyword for that is good. Story is no good at all. I guess they were trying to be over dramatic and really make you feel for these characters as you watch them as kids and then you watch them grow up or whatever and see how different they are, but the whole thing just comes off as corny and cheesy. Let me just play you some clips from the game.
Still? After all this, we still don't have enough? Do we still need more power?
All I can remember is being with Asbel and the others when we were children. They say I died protecting them. What does it mean to die? And why does it scare me? Everything is so cloudy, so dark. I want to remember, but I'm afraid.
Even if I tried, I couldn't make this stuff up. Surely there must be a reason to play this game. It's not the story, let me tell you that, so it must be the gameplay, so let's talk about that. Okay, gameplay. It's basically your standard RPG stuff, you know, towns and dungeons to go to, a very linear world to explore, and a story that dictates what should happen next. Nothing too special, but that's how the genre is set up, and there's nothing wrong with playing it safe. Now, where things get real different, and I believe there's a lot of focus went into this game, is the battle system. It plays in real time and it's kind of like a fighting game in that you can pull off combos and super moves. Now I am a sucker for combos, so they had me there. So how does it work? Battle takes place in a circular arena, but you can only move in a linear direction. However, you can reposition yourself by sidestepping, which is also good for dodging enemy attacks. Battle revolves around two styles, A-arts and B-arts. A-arts are like regular attacks and you can do different moves depending on the button direction you press. It has a tree system going as you gotta do one move to unlock the next tier, which is stronger string of combos. Now the B-arts are basically special attacks you can pull off at will anytime. It's just a matter of setting which ones you want to use. Now the game works on what you call CC. See, each art takes the same amount of CC. A-arts, the higher you go up the combo list, the more CC it takes, while B-arts take a larger amount. You know, some take larger amounts than others, so it's a bit more variable. Without CC you can't attack. You also need 1 CC to sidestep, so when it runs out you gotta wait for it to recharge. Good thing recharges fast, but this makes things very defensive, so you can't just go around just mashing buttons. I admit I hated the system at first because it felt too restrictive and limited, but as I leveled up and learned more skills and got more CC, I really began to get a feel for it. But the game really had me hooked when I was finally able to switch between A-arts and B-arts flawlessly at will. Speaking of skills, how you learn them are through titles. You gain titles from doing little things such as using the skill repeatedly or just walking around. It could be anything really, you know, so each title has 5 things to learn, whether it is stat increases or new skills. The best part is that you can learn to what level you want and then switch to another one at will. You want to be switching titles constantly to learn as many as you can because you will get a lot of them faster than you can learn them. In the battle system there is a bar called the Elite Gauge. If you fill up constantly doing damage and combos to enemies, you can go into a super mode for a few seconds in which you can do as many A-arts and B-arts as you want with no penalty. It's also here you can perform super moves. These are great and they really add the damage up, but to put a twist on it, the enemies also has a super mode too, and some bosses can do super moves themselves, which are very devastating. It's a good way to slow down things and make for a good back and forth between battles. Now, as fun as the battle system was, I did have some problems with it. The first problem has to do with the targeting system. It's a little wonky. Now my second problem has to do still with the targeting system, but when there are a lot of enemies on screen. This is where things start to get a little tricky, as you can really feel overwhelmed, and I think having a mode where you don't target anything would have helped, but I guess that's what Mages are for. It takes a while for the battle to become good, but once it does, it feels real good. Now graphics, someone told me that this game is actually an enhanced port of a Wii game. I was curious, so I went to take a look on YouTube, and yeah, I can see that being the case here. I guess they've smoothed things out and just upscaled it to HD, and it does seem to run better. As we all know, the Wii is a very underpowered system. The game is very colorful and pretty. Music, I don't really have anything to say about that. It works well for the game. Now for the voice acting, actually, why don't I play some more clips of the voice acting for you guys so you can hear it for yourself, and then when I come back, I'll just wrap things up. Okay? Cool.
So quiet. All I can hear is my heartbeat. But I'm still alive.
Oh, I thought those were people, but it's just sand that hardened into a human-like shape.
With so few people in this area, there's no one around to knock them over.
Huh, interesting. Why do you think the Amarcians put a Valkanus in the middle of the desert like this? Captain Malik, will you please fight me again? I must defeat you if I hope to become a man who can protect his friends.
Look at you, babbling on to your foes. You're nothing but a pair of lips flapping in the breeze. You don't have the power to protect anyone.
They haven't betrayed me. They're my friends. Friends.
Okay, in closing, oh, I like how that sounds. So professional. In closing. Alright, I think what determines whether or not someone will like this game is if you like the battle system or not. Outside of that, everything to me is just too plain and slow. And honestly, if the battle system was not all that, this would have been a very mediocre game, but that's not the case here. It was lots of fun. I just loved practicing combos and would fight all the enemies I could just to practice, and practice paid off. I was finally able to pull off a 125 hit combo once. That was pretty intense and fun. I also love the adjustable difficulty, as I felt the default difficulty was a little too easy, and they reward you for pulling off high combos in the higher difficulties. But anyway guys, that's it. I'm out of here. Peace.